And these guys are making these incredible things. So they are going to unveil this thing so we can all see it. We're going to talk to them for just a minute. You may hear the term resto mod, but there are a lot of people now that are really identifying that the styling of these 60s and 70s vehicles are really where it's at. So the idea behind these cars typically, and they will tell us about all this in great detail, is that it's got all the look, all the feel of that original 79, but it's got different driveline in it, maybe some more creature comforts. So can you talk to us a little bit? And there's also a really special story about where this truck's going to be built.
Yeah, this is a 1979 Toyota pickup truck, but now it's actually a 2026. We will be building these here in Moore County, 300 a year, and they will be bought only through Toyota dealers.
That's a really great, so do you have to do a licensing agreement with them to do that, to sell them to the dealerships?
Yeah, the first thing was licensing with Toyota. The next thing was trying to get an engine that's approved through the EPA. And we just signed a deal with General Motors about a week ago. It's gonna have a Chevy engine, sorry guys.
Well, that's not terribly uncommon. I mean, we were talking earlier, there's a company called Velocity that a lot of people are familiar with. They're doing those 65 to 67 Broncos, and they put 470 horsepower Coyote motors in them. They do K5 Blazers that have an LS-based engine in it, like out of a modern Corvette or Camaro, essentially. I would imagine that's probably the engine you selected here.
I'm not supposed to talk too much about it, but it looks like I'm going to tell you anyways. It's going to be the LT1, and the only reason why it's the LT1 because if you do low volume production in the United States, it must meet the current year's EPA standard. The LS engine is probably one of the best engines General Motors ever made, but that's port injection, and port injection engines don't need CAF anymore. It has to be a direct injected engine. If you don't know what that means, it means the injector is actually exposed to the combustion. And that's a whole other hour discussion. But right now, to meet those EPA regulations, we are going to use the LT1.
But yeah, there is quite the debate many times about direct injection. You know, what are the valves getting clean? Are there deposits that are building up? That kind of thing. Great engineering minds are working on these problems as we enjoy our day here today. But it's fantastic. So let's walk around it for a second. Show me like the inside. Like, are you building new creature comforts into these things? What's it look like?
It looks like a 1979 Toyota pickup truck. We assembled the vehicle. So we're more integrators than we are fabricators. But the catch-22, of course, is the EPA stuff. So the 300 vehicles that we're allowed to make, and it took about 6 years to get the licensing. These cars do not have airbags, and they don't have backup cameras. And there's a lot of things that we are going to try to put out. We can't get the airbags in. We talked about that. It's about $3.5 million to engineer that. So yeah, that's not our league, but we'll have a backup camera and a bunch of safety features. We also own Innovation Performance, where we restore cars and we build brand new cars from the ground up. I actually own my Copos here that took me 15 years to build because the shoemaker's kids go barefoot. But the reality is we are going to put extra safety stuff. If you're in Africa or overseas, these are really, really common. This is a 2-ton truck and it is incredibly simple, and that's why people like it.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I love the ethos of this whole thing, the steel wheels. I mean, this just looks, it's beautiful utility. And I applaud your efforts here, and it sounds like you're going to be quite an impact to the local community on your tax base, building 300 or so directly here in this county.
We're going to be employing people here pretty quickly. We just, the other day, we looked at how many people we need to make these. And we need 4 people just for quality control, to control the quality of the products coming, to make sure they're absolutely accurate. And once the car is built, we have to completely go through the car to make sure that the Q&A is 100%. We do that now with the cars we build. We go through a whole Q&A process where every nut and bolt is actually built to GM specs. If we're building a 69 Camaro, when we're done with it, and that bolt that pulls the fender on has to be 25 pounds, we actually make sure it's 25 pounds. We put a little yellow mark on it to make sure that that's done right. So we're trying our best. There are 3 things we look for when we build a car: safety, reliability, and performance. And performance isn't what people think. Performance is we want to make sure that car performs the way you want to use it. Do I want to go to the beach with my kids? Do I want to take my wife on a date somewhere? And is the car going to be reliable, safe, and comfortable? So we look at performance a little bit different. But the engine we are going to put in these makes 430 horsepower, so they should get it done.
I think it probably will. All right, yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for being here with it. This is a world debut here, right here in Pinehurst Village, so it's super, super cool.
You guys do a great job every year. This is a wonderful show. It feels like a small town community, and I hope everybody really enjoys it. Thank you for coming by and looking at our stuff.
Absolutely, thank you. And we'll have the truck here for everybody to check out throughout the rest of the day. So, all right, we're moving through. We're going to start doing some of our judging results coming up shortly. And this has gone really, really smoothly today. I think the next thing on my docket, unless I get something else thrown onto my clipboard, is going to be Haggerty's youth judging. So I believe if I look over at the Haggerty tent, I see the kids. They're getting geared up. Then you're going to notice all these great kids